Hey guys, how you doing? You as excited about as me about that demolition tank coming into the game? I'm not looking forward to that at all. I think it's gonna make the game even more unplayable for me. I got so much stuff built up on my hard drive that it's just game in and game out. Thought I'd show you a little bit of a mix here of a screw up game with a bizarre twist to it. And just getting focused out. Again, I got reams of this stuff on my hard drive now, and I don't know how to sort through it all and get. It's just this is my gameplay. I make a colossal error here, and back up, and oops, this thing just flies when it's in that mode. I almost flew myself right over the cliff into the drink. And sorry, it's a long video. I don't know if I can talk through the whole thing, but I kind of, this poor guy here is the only guy on this side of the map who's over here to help, and he ends up doing the same thing I did, but he doesn't. He's not caught by a ledge. He's the ledge. There's no ledge, I guess, for him to fall back on, and he goes right down into the drink, and he's gone. And that's it. It was still tied up at that point, but it's game over now. The rest of the guys are just. I swear, I put on teams that are just like non-existently bad. And as I've been talking about and quoting Klaus, the game is programmed. It's not random. The matchmaking is not random. The RNG is not random. Nothing about this game is random. It's programmed. And I have examples on my channel of guys with outrageously good win rates, top tier 10 tanks, stars on the barrel, 3 stars on the barrel, and they have no clue what they're doing. Not a clue. And I have examples on my channel of guys who have even lower win rates than me, who do know what they're doing and brilliantly pull out wins that were very hard to obtain. To slug out and persevere and figure out how to win. I'm always on the team that figures out how to lose. It's like there's a blank screen in front of them. And there's no sound on their coming from the TV. They're blind, deaf, and dumb. And so I'm just going to show you some examples. I mean, I was thinking here that, I was hoping that the other guys might damage them a little bit more than what you'll see they did. They really didn't damage them at all. It was 6 on 6. Right when I screwed up and that other guy fell into the drain, it was 6 on 6. But did they not kill anybody? They didn't damage anybody. Because I was thinking here that, if they cap it out, I'm screwed. But if they come after me, I have a little bit of a chance here. If they were damaged. Right? If it was possible to me to avoid a having being caught out on a reload is what I mean to say. And you'll find out I get caught out on a reload, and they come track me down instead of capping, and when they do finally come into view, I know it's impossible. There's just too many hit points left for me to take out. And my screw up, my bad for almost flipping my tank into the drink. But this Lycan goes like HELL. And I backed up. I lost control of it, but these guys are like, I can't win, right? I can't win. There's too many hit points there for me to try and destroy before I get caught on a reload and destroyed. So thankfully that guy takes a dive, and there's just this guy left, but I'm dealing with full hit points here. Like the rest of the guys on the team, those 4 other guys who are left, 6 other guys who are left, they did no damage at all to the enemy team. So in a bizarre twist, I finish on top. I have, again, so many examples of this on my hard drive, but I thought I'd show you this in the weekend mode, right? The Halloween mode. Of just bizarre, feverish attacks and suicide runs. This is not a suicide run that the guys do at me, but clearly I'm the focus. See what I mean in a second here. And there's a guy coming to help me, but he's ignored. They got the guy who they want to kill, eliminate from the match, and the point being that I'm trying to make is this is a winning strategy for the enemy team. And that's what my hard drive is full of right now. Because that's my gameplay in this game. Getting focused out. Even if guys have to sacrifice themselves and do bizarre suicide runs, it pays off for them because they win the game. Artillery shooting at me exclusively. And why is it a good tactic? Because they win the game. Even if they don't kill me, they just suppress me. They win the game. Oh, I'm just gonna skip ahead here in time to show you the end of this match. And my hard drive is full of this stuff. PS4 Pro hard drive full. Game after game of getting focus fired, and I don't know what to do with all the stuff. I didn't show it to you, and I don't see this happening to anybody else. I stick around in my games and kind of watch what happens, usually. And I watch some of the CCs. I just can't believe they're playing the same game as me. Because they're not getting shot at anywhere near. It's just like they're not getting shot at. Period. But that doesn't happen to me. I get focused out and eliminated. And it's usually a winning strategy. You would think it'd be the opposite, but it is a winning strategy. It works for the enemy team thousands and thousands, because I have over 60,000 games in this World of Tanks. Thousands and thousands and thousands of times more often it's a winning strategy than it is not a winning strategy for the enemy team. The formula to success, of course, I've talked about this before. It's really quite simple. But I'm not put on those type of teams very often. And the formula is you drive forward, you fire the gun. You have to have that gun singing in order to win. You have to get the gun barrel hot in order to win the match. But on teams, I'll probably do more videos on this one. I'm gonna call it the red tape team, where guys go to the end of the map and they get stuck there against the red tape, the border. Don't have examples of that in this one, but I got plenty of examples I could show you. And the camo nuts. Camo nuts and the binoculars. You know, not the old binoculars, which are, what they call it, 6 cents now. They call it 6 cents. But the old binoculars and the old camo nets that used to be in the game. It's not a camo net. It's a canvas sack. The camo sack that they put over themselves, and they have their binoculars, and they sit against the red line, usually at the very back or the back corner or the corner of the map, and then they stay there. That's my teams. That's my teams in a nutshell. Right now, and it's loss after loss after loss after loss. From a team that doesn't play that way. Simple. It's simple. They drive forward. They fire. They focus. When they see me, they focus me, and it's a victory. That's the formula. And this is why I started the channel in the first place, because what I was seeing on these CCWCs, Klaus calls them, and I think I'm going to call them wargaming propagandists, because they remind me of the frickin' media in my country. They're just fucking just parroting the wargaming line. If you get good, you win the game. Get good and win. Get good, win the game. I don't understand that. One of the guys who was recently talking about that is he actually says he's not in the CC program anymore. I just was catching a video of his on that. You know, he used to be a wargaming contributor, but now he calls himself a CA, whatever the fuck CA stands for. I can only imagine what CA stands for. But he's an engineer. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't trust an engineer that doesn't understand mathematical impossibilities. And I can assure you that it's a mathematical impossibility for one guy to win this game. As a matter of fact, it's extremely difficult and rare for one guy to influence this game so much that he wins the game for his team. I've seen it happen 4 times. 4 times. In over 60,000 games. personally that I've seen. The most recent one was an enemy guy. I didn't see the video because I was so pissed off. And the first guy he wanted to eliminate was me. But it should have been a sure victory. We had such a lead. I pretty much wiped the floor with the team. It was in that tier 6 American tank, that Pollock tank. And he was in a Super Hellcat, I think. And he just remained unspotted, circled around, and kept hitting me. Get unspotted again. And I was getting no help from the guys who were left on my team. Like, I was the team. That's why he shot me first and foremost. And then once he eliminated me, he just ran around the map and picked off the other guys. Because he had far superior camo rating, right? Medium range and camo. And it was a brilliant example of a guy who won a game for his team that his team had no business winning. So that's what I am talking about. That's what I count as a guy winning the game almost single-handedly. Nobody wins this game almost single-handedly, and that's something the English engineer doesn't understand, that it's a mathematical impossibility for you to take off. Use all your hit points to eliminate the enemy team's hit points. You know, when you factor in matchmaking and RNG, plus and minus 20% in our game, you know, the variables become nearly endless. And it literally becomes mathematically impossible for one guy to do that. So I don't know about you, but I don't want to be standing in or near or on anything that English engineer builds or helps design. If he doesn't believe in mathematical impossibilities, I don't want him engineering anything that I'm near or on. I got lots of examples of this. By far the most hits taken, by far the most damage blocked. And that doesn't seem to get rewarded. Instead, this guy who was no doubt in the corner the whole match, and the Wraith there, somehow he gets first place in a loss on the team. How? If this is supposed to be a combat game and a team game, why isn't getting hits rewarded? Why is I mean, he wasn't. I'm not meaning to criticize this guy too much, because he wasn't one of those guys who was standing against the red line, stuck to the red line, with a camo net on and binoculars. You know, there used to be in this game. There used to be an Asian server. I don't know if any new guys so long ago know that. But there used to be an Asian server. The Asian server was terrible. In World of Tanks console, I'm talking about. Because the Asian server was full of guys who equipped their tanks with the old-fashioned camo sack and binoculars. The stationary camo sack, the stationary binoculars. That came down as soon as you moved your tank. But none of them moved their tanks. They just stayed where they spawned, and the games were slow. It was freaking horrible. They were terrible. In the old days of this game, by far the best fighters in this game who kind of knew tactics, and that's mainly thanks to the Americans, of course. Before 6.0, was the North American server. It was by far filled with the best players. The European server was terrible, but not as bad as the Asian server. In the European server, guys lemming trained. That's what they did. And if you guessed right, and that if the lemming train you were in kept moving and kept shooting, they won. It was only those lemon trains, because both teams would do it. It was the only a matter of which team did it better. Which team kept moving, kept shooting. Now, in this game, in the North American server, because at 6.0, all those good players left. All those guys who knew, like, simple things in combat, right? Like even something as simple as how to flank. The teams I get put on now, and I play on the North American server, on the American server, nobody knows how to flank. The gameplay, the teams I get put on are so bad. They don't even understand simple combat tactics. Any kind of fighting. You don't have to be a fucking combat engineer. just unbelievably bad. And that is programmed. That's not random. It can't be random to be put on losing team after losing team after losing. Guys who are so bad, so out to lunch, who can't see, who can't hear. When a base is being captured, there's no sound on their TV. They can't hear the base alarm. Their TV is a black screen. They can't count how many tanks are left, or their health bar, or the mini map. Nothing. Absolutely nothing registers with these guys. And those are the kind of teams that Wargaming sticks me with. It's impossible for one guy to make up and overcome how bad they are. I don't care what you do. So I really do take offense, and you know, those CCs, they just, you know, what the fuck do they know, seriously? I'm sure they know zip all about fighting, but or team play. Okay? Being on a team, working on a team, maybe. And I'm not talking about a team of fucking engineers sitting in a lunchroom somewhere and discussing something about their day. That's not what I'm talking about. Look at these two guys that are left. Man, I just wanted to ask, because I included this video. This guy in the 430U, he finishes ahead of me, and it's tier 10. But do you think the enemy team was thinking, oh god, we gotta get that guy in the 430U? No, of course not. He was sitting there with his camo sack on. And I guarantee the enemy wasn't thinking, hey, we got to get rid of this guy in order to have a chance of winning. I guarantee they never thought that. They shot the shit out of me as soon as they see me. And they won the game. Tier 10. And I got these kind of examples over and over and over again. This is just gameplay from just tonight. When I'm recording this video, just tonight. It's not cherry picked, it's just back-to-back games from one day, World of Tanks, tonight. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to the rant again, and appreciate it. got some more Halloween stuff and regular tanks coming up. Hope you keep watching.